Jerry, you can't hear anything.
These guys are ready to rumble. Also, I'd like to give a very special thanks about, well, ever since the beginning of Herbalife, we've always tried to build leadership and have had people who have been coming up and telling their stories and, of course, helping to lead the way and do their meetings and so on. And this last year, it was incredible, the leadership that sprung out of doing all the supervisor training success workshops that happened all this last year. And there's no question in my mind that the ones that are in the future will absolutely be a knockout. But for those of you who may have been around last year and have been able to see the leadership that's growing out of it, you'd probably agree with me that what's happened with the trainers that came up here over the last days have been outrageous. And could everybody help recognize them for all their hard work that they did here? As we started out this weekend, it's been an incredible weekend. You know, we started out the weekend with some training, and we found out right away that it was just absolutely 100% out of control. Certainly, as I made it up the aisle there for the very first night at the extravaganza, I could feel it being out of control as everybody tugged on my shirt and wrapped my tie around my neck and threw their babies around me and everything else. Probably the big question over the weekend here was, can you give us any final comments, Mark, on what do I really do to make it? What is the final inspiration that maybe you can, you know, give all my group just before they leave? What could you do to make them just light up as they leave the auditorium and so on? And I think I'll tell you what I've told all the distributors since the very first day that we got the thing started. And if you'll notice all the speakers that came up here, they said it. They all had maybe their own way of saying it. But I'll tell you what I've always told everybody, and if you'll notice everybody's been doing it, they all use the products, wear the button, and talk to people. I was with one of my sixth graders, and some people that went to school with me. Little sixth graders, where are you? Hey? And Phil Blurton, I remember at the last year's extravaganza, he comes up to me in the back room and he says, Mark, you're not even going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. He says, I found the secret to Herbalife. And I said, well, what is it, Phil? He says, you're not even going to believe it. I finally learned it from John Tartle. And I said, well, exactly what was it that John Tartle said to you? He said, he told me all I had to do was use the products, wear the button, and talk to people. And I said, Phil, I don't know if you know this, but I've been telling you that now for over 12 months. He said, yeah, but when John Tartle said it, I believed it. Hopefully here over this weekend, we've been able to show you a number of different people that were up here on the stage that maybe you can identify with. If we had the time and the ability to go through all the stories that are in this room, it would shock everybody in this room. To be able to see the different personalities, the different languages, the different individuals from the different circumstances they've been able to walk themselves through and be able to be proud Herbalife distributors, it would absolutely 100% knock your socks off. And I get a chance to hear all the stories. But hopefully through the weekend, you've been able to identify with one or more of the people that were up there, and you'll say to yourself as you leave this weekend, hey, if those guys can make it, maybe there's a chance for me. And take it from a person that only went to 9th grade in school. And take it from a person that's been using the products maybe a little bit longer than everybody in the room, and has been wearing their button longer than anybody else in the room. And I've been talking to people more than anybody else in the room. Trust me, from a guy who knows from where I came from and how I grew up and the family life I had, trust me, I can tell you with absolute sincerity, anything is possible if you just keep using, wear, and talking and do it over and over and over and over and over again. The wildest dreams you've ever thought of can come true in Herbalife. And just a few ending comments here and winding up just before we get to the last 5 minutes. Certainly using the products is something that's important. Wearing the button is certainly obviously important. Talking to people is certainly important. But if I could give you any other, all the guys are saying, give them a little something else. I could only say a couple of things. Number one, my advice to you is as you leave these doors and as you go back and talk to people on the street on your way to the airport and on your way to your airplanes and on the way back to your countries, do yourself a favor. Number one, treat everybody you meet equal, because you just never know who's going to be the person that you meet that could end up being the next person on stage here in less than 10 months from now getting their president's team pin. You just don't have any idea. If you look around the room here, there's all different colors of skin, all different personalities, all different languages, all different backgrounds, and so on. If there's anybody, okay, that knows that anybody can make it, it's me. And hopefully over this weekend, we've been able to show you that they're all different personalities and different walks of life. Don't miss out. When you talk to someone, make sure that you give them your absolute all. Don't mess up with your presentations. Don't judge them by the way that they look, or necessarily by the way their hairdo looks, or the way their jacket looks, or the way their t-shirt looks, or the way they're dressed. Hey, if I had made that fatal mistake, I would have passed right by Doug Stuntz. Doug Stuntz, when he came to his very first meeting, was wearing a tank top. He was wearing his best sandals to the meeting. He had his groovy looking little beads on. And he had this old gray primer stained van that we made him park out in the back. And we let him sit there in the meeting room and he started watching what was going on. And he said, hey, maybe there's a place for me. You just never know. Treat everybody that you know nice. There's going to be people in your organization that do $50 and $100, and you couldn't make the fatal mistake of trying to teach them like they're a nobody, or try to make them feel like they don't exist and so on. Don't make that fatal mistake. They might be doing $100 a month now and 10 years from now, because you let them feel good about the organization and who they are, could be standing up here in the year 2005 extravaganza and getting their president's team pin. You just never know. Treat everybody nice. Treat everybody that you know with respect. Hey, who would have known a few years ago that somebody that could hardly speak English, like Leon Weisbein, would have been up here on the stage talking about picking oranges and falling on his head? Who would have known a few years ago that Leon Weisbein was going to make in excess of $1 million last year? Would have known.
End it right there. Let me put these in real quick. Let me see if this works. Trying to be cool. Let me see. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up. You guys can hear me? Yeah, awesome. Welcome to the call, you guys. What's today? June 30th, EOM. Let us get it cracking. Jerry Cooper, active royalty member. Been in the business, in the Herbalife, that business. That's how everybody says the business instead of just doing Herbalife. Been doing Herbalife for the past 13. Signed up for almost 6 years. Been doing it for about 4.5, 5. My official sign-up date will be July 13th. Been making a pretty good income monthly as doing it. Around a $2,000 earner monthly, $2,200, something like that. But as you guys just heard him saying that, I forget the gentleman's name that he just said, making $1 million last year in Herbalife. And at the time, I believe this is because Mark Hughes died in 2001. I want to say that this had to at least have been in 95, because he always talks in terms of 10 years or more. So I want to say this is in 95. In 95, making $1 million in Herbalife with inflation, that's probably about like 3 million, 4 million right now. So you got to imagine what the lifestyle is like at that time. If you was to make 3-4 million monthly, or not monthly, yearly with Herbalife right now, what would your life look like? What would you do? What are the things that you'll be able to achieve, or what purpose would you be able to fulfill with that income allowing you to do so? What are some of the things you would do? Unmute yourself right now. $4 million right now. What would you do with $4 million yearly? What would be the first thing that you would do, knowing that you're getting $4 million this year? Unmute yourself if you want to go ahead and quit your job. Yeah, I would 1,000% quit my job if I was making $4 million. Anybody else want to go? No? Okay, bet. It's all right. Remind me tomorrow. Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Pay off some debts.
Debt, yeah, debt could definitely be paid off with $4 million. I can imagine you probably haven't accumulated $4 million with that amount of debt, but definitely pay off some debt and start, living debt free. That's also definitely very good. I know with $4 million for me, I would definitely quit my job. I would I would put some in the bank, and I would probably reinvest into the team in some form, like maybe run a promotion, maybe something like that. I don't know, but that's what I would do. But you guys got to remember, right, to be able to earn $4 million, it is definitely use word talk, but you guys have to remember that it's about having a little bit more than just use word talk. But like how deep, like in basketball, right? Like you guys want to be able to be a max all-star. It's free agency in basketball right now. People are signing max contracts. only certain individuals are getting max contracts based upon their skill set, based upon their tool bag, based upon how deep their bag is, right? So as a distributor, you got to ask yourself, how deep is my tool belt? How many things do you have as a distributor that's allow you to get the results, right? So what does that look like? What's one thing that you can have in your tool belt that's like a necessity? I would say getting results. Getting results. Shout out to Bridget. She's in the club right now. I see her working. Getting results, I would say, and keeping results is a tool, right? Now, there's only a small percentage of people that's living the ripped up lifestyle. That's like, I'm ripped 1,000% of the time, 365 days of the year. There's only a small percentage of people that live that lifestyle. But being able to maintain your results from being able to maintain your initial results and better from where you originally started from, that's something in your tool bag to say, yo, my consistency is on point. The fact that I take pride in how I look, that is a skill set. Being able to retail, right? Being able to retail a lot, even though that's a staple, that's also a skill set that has to be learned. Being able to say, yo, I'm $1,000 earner with inside of Herbalife, that's a skill set. That's in your tool bag, right? Being able to get enough preferred members, being able to retail enough, that is a tool in your tool bag. So knowing that you guys have to have some of these tools in your bag for you to be able to increase your income, to be able to increase your impact, what are some obvious or not so obvious things that you guys believe should be in your tool bag when it comes to things like that? Just unmute yourself and go ahead and say it. No, we ain't got no goers about what could be in the tool bag. I can say art of promotion. That's a tool, right? Being able to promote, obviously extravaganza, that's a big thing. Being able to promote the big events, being able to promote STS, right? But another thing that's maybe not so obvious, maybe about the DAP program, being able to get your new distributors 500 volume points 3 months in a row. That's something that you could promote. Even when for example, when you're at a fit club, right? Say you're running your fit club or anything like that, if you have one, if you're running one, if you participate in one, the art of promotion will be promoting the next fit camp at your current fit camp, being able to promote the next event at your current event, being able to promote the current challenge or the next challenge in the current challenge. Art of promotion, letting people always know what's up next, allowing them to always be able to plan ahead so that there's no excuse for them not to be able to attend or that they didn't know. Because you never want your distributors to not know that this was available to them, or you never want them to be like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So being able to put that information out there, promoting everything is super dope. Like, for example, we're talking about the Gen H party, right? Not everybody knew that the Gen H party was available. So the art of promotion was allowing people to see, oh yeah, I want to go to that because I know if I get my Gen H ticket, I also qualify for the hat. I also qualify for the little gift. Like for last year at Extravaganza, we got, when you got your Gen H ticket, you got the hat, you got the lunchbox, you got the super sized button, you got the water bottle, and I believe you got something else. I don't remember. But you got, you know what I'm saying? You were able to get stuff because you knew about the promotion. Things like that. I would say being able to show somebody the marketing plan is a really good tool to have in your toolbox, because at the end of the day, you need to be showing how to move people up in the business rather than just saying, hey, you know what, you can just sell these products and make money. No, you want to be able to show the people the possibility in the future of them inside the business with being able to show the marketing plan, whether that be a full-on presentation, whether that be a napkin presentation, or whether it be you go all the way up to president's team and beyond. It has to be something. You have to be able to have that in your tool bag, right? Because a lot of people will say that they don't know how, or that they're not comfortable explaining the marketing plan or something. And it's like, you're only limiting yourself. You're only limiting how great you can be if you don't learn these things. You can either be good or you can either be great. For you to be great, you have to have a lot of different tools, right? So Speaking of that, does anybody want to run over the marketing plan real quick? Let's say up to supervisor. Real quick, just go. Just go. Somebody, please just go. Nah, no takers? Nobody to explain going up to the supervisor. It's getting rough these days, man. Nobody want to explain. I'm not going to explain. You guys know that I know it, but it's not the fact that I know. It's about the fact that you guys know. So when you sponsor these people and when you're talking to these people, you're able to show them, because you don't want to sign somebody up and give them no form of direction, because then your business is really stagnant and then you're going nowhere, right? And when you're going nowhere, you can get frustrated, you can get disenchanted, you can get disheartened, and then you might want to have thoughts about you quitting. And you know what I'm saying? That's not possible. I mean, it is possible, of course, but that's not what you signed up for. You signed up for you to change your life. So therefore, in turn, you need to have the basics down. So what I'm going to challenge everybody that's going to watch this, that's watching this call now and watching this call in the future, is take some time this week to run over the marketing plan. And do you know it like the back of your hand? At least going up to supervisor, right? Because when you're explaining these things to these new people, you might get those few people that's like, yo, let me explain everything. Let me learn how you make the big money. Before a lot of people, they really just need to get the basics down. Okay, how do I level up really quick? How do I get more clients? How can I get to 50% off? Right? Because that's really the thing that most people is going to be like, I want to be a part of. I want to be able to get to 50% off because I want 50% profit. I want 50% off the products. A lot of people are going to want to say, yo, I want to go to Press Team. Yes, I want to make career level income, and in which in turn you'll explain that then. But for the most part, most people just want to be able to get that maximum discount. So because the masses want the maximum discount, you need to at least be able to explain that up to 50%. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you aren't sure about the marketing plan, you can definitely ask me. But before you ask me, I would say go on marvblack.com, because it does have that all the way up to the highest level available, which is what we know now as 160K Chairman's Club, right? Or Founder Circle. It does explain that. So go on there, take your time and sift through the website to see what's available. You might be able to learn some stuff that you did not know was available at first, and you can get it popping. And being able to attach the income towards that and say, hey, you know, when you sign up, obviously when you sign new people up, you get 25% off. Most of us go about it saying, oh, you make $25 out of every 100 that you sell. And for a lot of people, the reality of it is when you tell people that, they'll say, oh, that's not a lot of money. Even though people need it, even though you're broke, even though you need extra income, when people say you can make 25 out of the 100, they're not necessarily excited about that. And I understand that. But the thing is, though, you have to be able to attach what happens for the 25. To show them that, yeah, you get 25 out of the 100 at first, but the work that goes before that isn't that hard. The things that you have to do to get the 25 isn't that hard. For you to get somebody to say, hey, I want to feel good, I want to get on the products, isn't that hard, right? So being able to attach the actual effort to the result, it's how do I say, the conversation is perfect. And then obviously as you do more of the effort, the income starts to rise from 25 to 50. And that's the best part about it. Being able to increase the income, the farther you go, the more effort that you put in, and it always stays there. Face-to-face is a really good tool to have in your business, obviously, because I know we see the fit couple, we see the Piemies, we see the Unstoppable Fit couple, we see the Roxys, the Aubreys, we see the Garen Joneses. Of course, we see that, and it looks like they only do social media. It does look like they only do social media, but I can guarantee you what'll never go out of style, will never lose its power, is face-to-face. Because the reality is when you do face-to-face, you get to see the real results of what you really put in. You don't get to see the filtered results. You don't get to see the angled results, right? You don't get to see how many times you guys have seen people on social media and then you see them in real life and you be like, that didn't necessarily look like them in that photo that I seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that double chin go that I see now? Where did you hide it? You know what I'm saying? Where did that side little situation go Did you know what I'm saying? How does that look a little bit different from this angle than what I see you in real life, right? Being able to attach people, because at the end of the day, no matter how real you are on social media, no matter how many no makeup posts that you guys say, no matter how raw you could be on social media, it's still an image. It's still a facade in some form, right? Until people can get their eyes on you, that's the real you. How you speak, your mannerisms, what you say, how you go about things, your integrity, your character. People are able to see that in real life rather than on social media, no matter how real you are on social media, right? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So therefore, in turn, you talk about, let me put you on mute, girl. So therefore, in turn, your face-to-face has to be on point. Don't discredit face-to-face because it's going to get you there in the long run, right? Like, for example, I know that Bridget is definitely doing a bunch of social media for her boost for the nutrition club, but she's also doing in-services. She's also doing face-to-face. She's also getting in front of people to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Try my liquid gold drink. See how you feel. And hit me up after. Follow me on social media. So, yes, she's following it up with follow me on social media. But initially, the contact is in person, face-to-face. They can get to see Bridget. They can get to see how loving she is. They can get to see how welcoming she is. So now when the club is open, whenever we get the official grand opening date, when they come in, they already know what type of person she is rather than trying to guess what she looks like off of social media. You see what I'm saying? So now they have more confidence to say, yo, come with me to Boost Nutrition or come with me to this smoothie shop that I heard of because I met the girl and she's super dope and she brought me this really good drink. Rather than saying, she looks cool. I don't know how she is though. Or what is she really like? You see what I'm saying? So get in front of people no matter what that may be, whether you're trying to start a fit club. I know Andrew was talking to me about this. He wanted to start a fit club in the area. Whether you work people out, you're a personal trainer like Jorge, whether you're cutting people's hair like Takesha, whether you are just doing in-services like Bridget, building your brand for the club, let people see the real you first before they follow you on social media. Now, obviously, if they follow you on social media first, that is what it is. But it's like, yo, let people get the facts about you and being able to go, right? And so touching on what I was talking about earlier about extravaganza, right? It is it's getting real close. So what's today? It's the 30th. Where's my phone at? Oh, it's right here. We have to pay the remaining balance, which is like 801, something like that. It's like 801. We got to pay the remaining balance by the 8th, which is Monday, not tomorrow, but the next Monday. I want to say. Am I right on that? Yeah, next Monday. So, Jorge sent me his income, or sent me his income. Jorge sent me his money. Andrew sent me his money, and Josefina has sent me her money. So the remaining people out of the first 10, Andrew does not count in the first 10, but he does count as obviously, him coming along. Out of the first 10, you guys send me your money anytime between now and next Sunday, so we can just pay for it on Monday or beforehand. I'll reach out to the people that are not on the call so I can get, so they can know at least, so we can get everything popping. But extravaganza is coming up. So again, it is, the 26th? 26 days away. If you don't have your ticket, today is your last day to get your ticket for $100. Is it 100 or 120? I'm not sure because I got the pre-sale. It's 120? Yeah, 120. Today is your last day to get your ticket at $120 before you can get your ticket at the door. When I don't know how much it'll be at the door, you don't want to pay at the door price. I've never had to pay at the door price because I always got my ticket early. So, but if you have not got your ticket at 120, today is the last day to get it. If you don't have your flight, please start to look at these flights. And if you haven't yet paid your money for the Airbnb, pay the money. Especially if you're in the first 10, and if you're not in the first 10, still go ahead and donate. Still go ahead and forward that money so we can go ahead and use it for what it needs to be used for the whole group. make sure everything's correct, make sure you're talking to these people, make sure you're getting new preferred members. But really in the short run right now, for you to be able to help yourself for extravaganza, is going to be retail, not necessarily preferred members, because the preferred members was in June, because you'll get that check cut on the 15th of July, which will then the next coming days is extravaganza. So that's over with pretty much, right? Today is EOM. I understand that. Yes, definitely get those people in for those orders for your preferred members today. But from tomorrow going forth to extravaganza is going to be about your retail. It's going to be about your personal production. It's going to be about how many people you're talking to, and being able to look at your business as a whole and like looking at it at eye level and like, okay, if you're looking at it as graphs or anything like that, whatever visualization you want to look at it at, you can look at it like, okay, boom, I feel stuck in my business. What areas am I lacking in? And this is a tool as well. You see how I'm bringing this all back around? Yes, this is also a tool, being able to identify what you're lacking in as far as your production overall inside of your business, right? So whether it be, okay, I'm lacking on you can look at it like this. Okay, this is how many people, this is how many leads I have. Boom. This is how many people I have on products. Boom. This is how many distributors that are active. Boom. This is how many preferred members I have. Boom. Okay, that's that. Here's my level of productivity as far as new people that I'm talking to weekly. This is how many numbers I'm getting. This is how many transactions that I'm producing, right? And obviously all this is available in HN Connect, and it tells you exactly everything about what's going on. But it's also good to be able to have this gauged in your mind about what you're lacking in. I mean, now obviously if you're stuck, you're lacking in some area. It's not like, because the reality of it is, if you were even 70% in all of these areas, you wouldn't be stuck. So one of these areas is really lower than the rest. It might be at 0 or a low number, which is why you're feeling stuck, which you may be high in these areas, right? You may have talked to 10 people last month. You may have gotten 10 clients last month, right? That doesn't mean 10 clients are ordering this month coming up. The reality is you don't know. And I used to be able to not be able to. I used to think like, okay, I got them on our products. I set them up correctly, and they're going to order because they said they love their products. That does not guarantee. There is no clause. There is no contract that says I'm going to order this monthly, right? I have a subscription. There is no subscription inside of Herbalife. So it's up to you as a distributor and you as a business owner to be able to level out your business to say, okay, I got 10 clients last month. I'm not guaranteed that 10 people are going to order this month. So in fact, let me just go get 10 more to level it out. You see what I'm saying? Now, if 20 people order products, great, awesome, dope. But I'm not going to bank on leaving it up to these people to order, because then I'm shooting myself in the foot. I'm not giving myself a chance to win. I'm not giving myself a chance to grow, because I'm not continuously going out getting new. They always say new solves all. And that's in everything. New distributor solves all. New volume solves all. New preferred member solves all. New retail client solves all, right? So when you're able to do these things, you're now building a stronger pillar inside of your business and allowing those areas in your graph to be more steady and stable, rather than you just say, okay, I'm happy with what I did last month. I'm just going to allow that to organically grow. And of course, organic growth will happen. It will be something that happens as a part of your business as you get enough people. But at first, it's up to you to create the organic growth. It's up to you to get the people that is the base of the growth. You see what I'm saying? So you have to operate with the mindset of, okay, I need to get 100 distributors and I need to get 100 distributors, period. You may not personally get the 100 frontline, but if you operate in that mindset, then you'll be able to not shoot yourself in the foot. You'll be able to be safe about that. And by you going to extravaganza, right, you'll be able to say, hey, I'm operating in a way that I'm doing a business. Because the thing about it is, some people just don't understand that it takes a certain level of dedication. It takes a certain level of intensity. It takes a certain level of commitment for you to be able to say, hey, I have a business that's operating independently and my life has changed because of that, right? So by you going to Extravaganza, you'll be able to recognize these things and have a bigger understandings. I don't even know if that's a word, understandings, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. You'll have a bigger understanding that, okay, this is how I need to operate inside of my business, and this is the analytics that I need to look at, because you'll hear from people that were possibly in the same place as you currently right now, that did a lot of things different in the last year to now that allows them to be on the stage at Extravaganza and explaining why they're on stage. Because the thing about it is, you're only on stage at Extravaganza if you've done something significant within the last year, or if you're relevant, or if you're popping. So the thing about it is, if you're on stage, you should listen to those people, right? I seen Pyme go from a Get team member 1 year to a 20K press team member the next Extravaganza. She's been on stage ever since. You see what I'm saying? She's been on stage every year since that time. So yeah, she has a lot to say. She talks about recruiting. She talks about supervisor school. She talks about Wellness Wednesdays. She talks about retail clients and things like that. So with you going to Extravaganza, you'll be able to hear from everybody that does Herbalife on the major scale, and you'll be able to talk to people and say, hey, this is what I'm doing in my area. Maybe it'll work for you, because some people aren't operating in a business sense because they don't even necessarily know how to operate in a business sense. Like, you can't operate in this way if you don't know what it takes. So when you go to Extravaganza, they'll explain on a much larger scale rather than just STS, because STS is limited to a certain extent. You'll have 3 days to hear about recognition, training, celebration, and how to get there, from the Latin market, the general market, from people that have been in the business less than 5 years to people that's been in the business almost 40 years. So overall, I suggest that you guys get there, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. It's going to be probably the biggest thing that you've ever been to. I'm super excited. This is my third Extravaganza, fourth Extravaganza, third or fourth. LA, St. Louis, Houston. Yeah, this is my fourth Extravaganza. For a lot of people, it's going to be their first. And it's going to be dumb. I'm telling you, like, just the environment, just the magnitude of what you're a part of, and how Herbalife is going to take over the city. You guys don't even understand about just the level that we're playing at right now. It's going to be crazy. So you still have time to invite people. You still have time to get yourself there. You still have time to make sure that your time there will be worthwhile, and you're not worrying about anything when you have to come back. 26 days is a long time if you take it day by day with intensity. So just make sure you have everything and get it popping, get your outfits together, get your luggage together, all that good stuff. Next week, I want to say next week, I'll go over an official what to bring list, just so everybody can know, so which still gives people enough time to make sure they have everything, and it's going to be dope. And that's pretty much it that I have for today. I'm going to try to get I'm going to get a guest speaker. The reality is I want to get a guest speaker, but when it's only a few of us on the call, I don't want to waste anybody's time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be like, hey, dog, you want to come speak on the call? And there's only a few of us on the call. And like I said, I have no problem. I'm going to get on the call regardless. But for me to be able to ask somebody out of their time, out of their day, I don't know what people are doing, to say, hey, come speak to the team, there has to be enough of us on the call so that the value is reciprocated. So if you are watching this in the future, and that's another thing, another toolbox, that's another tool inside the toolbox, sense of urgency. What is your level of sense of urgency in being able to get the information and apply it, right? Being able to say, hey, you know what? I know that these calls have been going for about a year now. Woo, they have been going for about a year pretty much. That's what's up. I know that these calls have been going for a year. I know that they're every Sunday at 7. I'm committed, and I have an urgency to get on the call no matter what, regardless of what I'm doing. If I have to step away from a party, if I have to step away from whatever the case may be, I'm going to do so because it's necessary in me building my life to get better, right? Because the reality is that party, even though you want to be a part of it, even though it's been a long week, is not going to necessarily help you build your lifestyle up. It's not going to help you build your business up no matter how much fun you're having at it. The call will. Use the call now so you can do the parties later forever. That's just all I got to say about it. Other than that, though, all questions are good questions. Shoot them if you have them. If there is no questions, get back to me. If you need to devise a plan for you to get to Extravaganza in the next 26 days, reach out to me. I know that a few people have reached out to me, and I'm pretty excited about that. But if you aren't sure, if you have any doubt, reach out to me and we'll talk about it and we'll see what it looks like. Other than that, you guys, I will see you guys as EOM. Keep pushing. The volume was looking really good. Let's get it cracking. Other than that, I'm going to see y'all.